Hi, it's Jen. Today I wanted to share with you a different way I've folded this mercantile bag, so that way we can use them different in our journals. So I'm going to show you. So what I did first is I scored it at 2 inches. So I started from the top of the bag and then I scored it at 2 inches. And then once I scored it at 2 inches, I put it, the bag on the side of a page. Now when I put it, this in journals, I like to put it on a tea-dyed piece of scrapbooking paper because it's a little bit sturdier than just computer paper that we tea-dye. And so what I would do, so after we scored it at 2 inches, I would attach it to the scrapbooking paper. But first, before I did that, I would cut the end of the bag off. And then after you cut the end of the bag off, then you would just fold it right to the edge of the book. Now, I'm going to show you mine in a minute, and I forgot to cut the end of the bag when I put it in my journal, so I had to cut the bag while it was in my journal. So this piece here wasn't flush with the side of the page, but that didn't bother me at all. But if you want it, the end of your bag to be flush with the side of your pages here, you'll want to cut the end of your bag before you glue it down. So the first step is to score your bag at 2 inches, cut the end of your bag off, and then what you do is put it on your page in your journal. Now the only thing that I did is I glued just on the front here. So I glued all the way down the front here at the side, and all I did was use, you can use glossy accents or your favorite glue. And I did more than just a little bead so that way it would be really stuck on. But I didn't want to go like an inch, but I probably went a half an inch or 3/4 of an inch, just so that way everything's stuck down. And then once that's glued and dried, you have a folder here. So you have this room to decorate, this room, and then you're going to have a pocket right here. You have the back, and then this opens up here because we just glued it on the front. So now you can decorate here or journal there, whatever you want. And so I will show you how I decorated mine. Now, before I show you mine, I did try to make this one right here into a pocket, but the bags are a little bit too thin and it just ripped. And so I will show you what I did instead. So here's mine. Now, most of the bag of mine is covered, so I wanted to keep the front of it just plain because I want to see the beauty of the bag as well. And so the front here, and then I just use a paper clip to close everything. And so I left this plain because I wanted to see some part of the bag. And then so now you have a pocket here. So here's the bag, and so this is a pocket. And so I just put an envelope, a doily, and then an addition card. And then you have a tuck spot back here. And then I just put a tag. This image comes from a garden book, and I just sewed it onto a piece of craft paper that I can write on. And then when you turn your page, you can open it up. And so now what I did here, because I tried to make this one a pocket, but the bag was a little too thin, so I made myself a pocket. If you're interested, this right here is a JPEG file that I'm selling on my Etsy. This is a pocket. So what I did is I sewed it on to a piece of cardstock to make it a double pocket here. A slip pocket. So now I have a pocket in there, and then I can put a couple tags in the back there. I like to put some tags that aren't tea-dyed. I like to mix the tea-dyed and the plain because I think it gives your book interest. And then the opposite side here, I just put a piece of tea-dyed cardstock because it was nice and flat. So now I can just journal right there. And then you have your pocket. I just put a tag in there. And then you should close it. And then I just put a piece of tea-dyed cardstock there as well because it's nice and flat. I try to utilize all the sides that were nice and flat into journal spaces, and then if I want to decorate this up with ephemera, I can later. And then you just flip it over, and then I have one of my layered flowers right here, and I didn't glue it all down, I just glued it around the edges, and then now I have a pocket here as well if I wanted anything secret right there. And then I'll open this up, I did sew all around the pocket here. So I started from one end, went all the way around, and then I sewed down the middle here. So that way my tag right here wouldn't get lost if it did slip. So I did sew right down here. And so that is what I wanted to share with you today. It's a very fun way to add something different to our journals, and those bags are so fun to have in our journals that I was playing with it one day and I thought, oh, what if we could use it in a different way? And so this is what I came up with. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you give it a try. It is so fun. And then I just put a paper clip here, and then it can keep everything closed. And there we go. So I'm just going to go over the measurements again for you. So with your bag, you're going to want to, at the top, score at 2 inches if that's what you like. You might want to play around with different measurements, but I scored it at 2 inches, cut the end of the bag off, and then when I put it in my journal, junk journal, I flipped the top of the bag to the front, and then I just folded the back over, the bottom of the bag over, to be flush with the side of the book. And then all you do to attach it is you just put glue on the front, and then there you go. Now you have a tuck spot, and you have a little book that you can open and journal in. Well, I hope you liked this today, and don't forget, don't throw away your junk, let's journal with it. Take care. Bye.